All right, howdy. Talk 1370, Friday Night Fanstand, Tailgate edition as we're just days away from the beginning of week 0. Coach, are you ready?
Well, we better be. I think we've survived the heat through the summer, and it's probably going to be with us here for a couple of weeks, but it's time to have some fun.
All right, speaking of having some fun, the Fanstand Big Ten, always a blast, especially going into the season where there's so many unanswered questions, but these are the top 10 teams that we think will make the most noise in 2011 as composed and compiled by the Fanstand staff. Let's start with 10 through 8, Coach. Number 10, Hutto Hippos. Number 9, Anderson Trojans. And number 8, Vista Ridge. Your thoughts?
Hutto, Steve Hale's come in there and did an outstanding job. They're 10-2, made a good playoff run. Anderson and Vista Ridge, both playoffs. Basically, the first time for those two schools, what's going to be important is that they come back and do it again. But those are three teams' outstanding years last year and looking for the same thing this year.
Yeah, Hutto opening up against LBJ. Anderson, of course, in the Taco Shack Bowl with McCallum, and Vista Ridge against Hendrickson. Fanstand Big Ten, teams 7 through 5. Leander coming in at 7. Coach, your old stomping grounds. Westlake at 6. And we have Bowie ranked 5th. Your thoughts?
Leander, Coach Gideon retired, have a new head coach out there. Be an adjustment, but they've been very successful in the past, and that's what we look for this year. Westlake, short on returning letterman, some quality returning letterman, but the young players are going to have to step up. Bowie, lots of experience, 3 rounds into the playoffs, and I think those men are excited over there about doing that again.
Yeah, one note with Leander, Coach Clint Harper, last year's quarterback coach, will take over as head coach for the Lions, who open up against DeSoto. Westlake, of course, Battle of the Great Lakes versus Lake Travis, and Bowie versus Pflugerville. Fanstand Big Ten, top 4 teams. Let's save the last one or the top team for just a moment, but we have Westwood coming in at 4, Stony Point 3, and Lake Travis going for their 5th championship, number 2.
Westwood, Coach Wood has done an outstanding job, and I think he's really excited about this year. He has a magic player at quarterback. If he stays healthy, I think we're going to see great things from that team this year. Stony Point, reloading. I've lost a lot of seniors, but outstanding sub-varsity teams, and they're going to stay near the top, if not at the top of this list as we go through the season. Lake Travis, you win 4 state championships in a row, you're going for number 5. They have a way of getting it done, and I think they have the people to do it again this year.
All right, all 3 of those teams busy over the summer. Westwood and Lake Travis going to College Station for the state 7-7 championship. Stony Point going to Dallas along with LBJ for the Gamebreakers Red Bull National Championship. Okay, Coach, we have Cedar Park at number 1. Some will call this a little controversial. Some of our reasoning, they were able to beat the Cavaliers at their place by double digits and then barely lose to them in the playoffs. So your thoughts on the Timberwolves as our number 1 team?
Well, Chris Ross has done an outstanding job at Cedar Park, and a big key is he has his quarterback back who was hurt for that second game against Lake Travis. And Cedar Park could be the thorn in Lake Travis's side because they're going to have to beat them twice to win state again. It's always hard to beat a team twice in a year. But they lost a lot of big linemen. They're going to have to adjust their offense probably a little bit, but they have an outstanding defense coming back, and it's going to be exciting to watch Cedar Park and that district.
Cedar Park Black Rain defense led by defensive coordinator Joe Willis, bringing back the likes of Zach Espinoza and Adam Hill, who actually led the Timberwolves, not Chet Moss, current UT fullback now for the Cedar Park Timberwolves. They're going to be deadly. Okay, Fanstand Tailgate. Now we just got done with our Big Ten Fanstand Big Ten. Let's talk about our games of the week. 5 major districts that we cover, 15 and 16 5A, along with 16, 25, and 26 4A. We also cover Wimberley and St. Michael's as well, but these 5 main districts who we'll be concentrating on during the 2011 season. Our game, our pick of the week for 15 5A, Pflugerville taking on the Bowie Bulldogs, but Coach, I know you like other matchups in that district as well.
Well, there's, this is a huge game with Pflugerville and Bowie, but, we also have Leander and DeSoto, and the new coach at Leander is going to have a real test as he goes up against this DeSoto team, which is loaded with Division I players.
All All right, 16-4A. We have Bastrop at McNeil as our marquee matchup. Mavericks getting a 22-20 win last season, but the funny thing was that was the only game that the Mavericks won. Coach Lee Penland in his second tenure after leaving Hutto looks to improve there. Bastrop losing Josiah Monroe. Alex Kanya and Dylan Becker in a battle and could see a playing time similar to Stony Point's situation last year. 16-4A, Coach, your thoughts on other games from teams from that district?
Well, this will be an exciting game. Coach Penland starting his second year should be more established. Bastrop has to replace an all-world player, Josiah Monroe, so it'll be interesting to see how these two teams start off the year. We also have another game or two, Hendrickson and Vista Ridge. I think that's going to be interesting to see where those two teams, how they start off the year, because those are both outstanding programs. Finally, one that's kind of an interest for all-around football is Conley is going to be playing Temple, and the new head coach at Temple, Mike Spradling, rebuilt Abilene Cooper and took them from a program that was down to a long playoff run last year. So that's going to be a game that I think people that follow football are going to want to watch to see what happens.
All right, it's the Fanstand Tailgate, continuing with our games of the week. Let's go to 16-5A. Of course, Westwood, one of the darlings, some pick them as the dark horse to win the district this year, taking on Cedar Park. Your thoughts about other games out of the 16-5A teams?
Well, I think this is a key game, and this is exciting. We need to figure out a way we can get up there and watch this, right, because I think that these are two of the teams that are going to be very outstanding. Of course, we got Cedar Park number 1 and Westwood 4, but that is going to be a real good game. I don't know who's going to win it, but it'll be a fun one to watch.
All right, we'll have Coach Anthony Wood on the Friday show on Friday Night Fanstand. 25-4A, Lake Travis versus Westlake. Not only are the Cavs going for the drive for 5 state championships, but going for their 5th win in a row over Westlake. Do the Shaps have a chance at DKR on Saturday?
Oh, of course they do. I mean, that's, you don't play the game unless you have a chance to win, and I don't think Coach Allman's going to call him forfeit, But, it's an exciting venue. Both of them are going to have young players are going to have to adjust to a 30,000 plus crowd in an amazing venue. So, Lake Travis, like you said, they've won the recent games. They've got an outstanding defense coming back. Westlake does have some weapons, so it will be a good football game Saturday night. I encourage you to get there early because you could be in line a long time if you don't.
Right. Lake Travis also featuring a new offensive coordinator this year in David Collins, who leaves Garland to join the program. And the surprise defection of Danny Cavill to another school will allow Cameron Wrinkle to make his impact known for the Lake Travis Cavaliers. Lastly, District 26-4A, LBJ at Hutto. This was a blowout last year on the part of the Hippos. LBJ coming off that national championship appearance over the summer for Red Bull Gamebreaker 7-on-7. Your thoughts about teams coming from 26-4A in 0 week?
Well, I think 26-4A. You look at McCallum, how they played Lake Travis in that first round. I think that they're starting to pick things up and realize that they can compete. And LBJ has made some playoff runs, so we're going to see a starting point for these two teams. And Steve Hale has done an outstanding job at Hutto, and we'll see if he can pick up where he left off.
Right, Hutto featuring running back Greg Petrie, but also Emmett Wiggins transfers from Cedar Park to join that Hippos backfield. That's going to be a good one there. Darius Collins coming to his own as the quarterback for the Jaguars. Thursday night, Fanstand Kickoff Classic is going to be live coverage of the Taco Shack Bowl. It'll be Anderson versus McCallum. Of course, Anderson leads the all-time series 5-4. McCallum trying to even it up at 5, and we'll have interviews with both head coaches and also the students. All sides, Taco Shack Bowl, all you can handle. Thursday night at 7. And don't forget Dripping Springs at Crockett and Vandergrift at Lanier, courtesy of our radio partners, KDRPlive.org and High School Cube, powered by KMAX Sports.
Coach's Corner, we have Coach Anthony Wood from Westwood. I think a real interesting interview. And we also have Coach Abels from Bowie. So I think a lot of good information, and people enjoy hearing those interviews.
All right, folks, plus coverage of all the Austin area scores as only Fanstand can bring you online. FridayNightFanstand.com, Facebook and Twitter. We're covering Central Texas football like no one else. Now 7 to midnight, Coach.
Boy, that's going to be tough on an old man. You know that.
Well, you can squeeze in a nap at halftime, Coach.
That works.
Covering Central Texas football like no one else. We're top 1370s Friday Night Fanstand. We'll see you Thursday.